This call is now being recorded.
Okay, so once again, good afternoon all. So in the last lecture, we have started with the new chapter, that is job evaluation and the merit rating. And in the last lecture, we have started with the basic introduction of the job evaluation, why it is required. Then we have discussed the objectives of the job evaluation, and then we have started with the methods. So the two methods we have discussed in the last lecture related to the job evaluation. In that, first one is a ranking method, and the second method is called as a job classification method. So both the methods are mostly used for the job evaluation. So now in the today's lecture, we'll discuss about the third method of the job evaluation, which is called as a factor comparison method. So if you go through the title of this particular uh, method number 3, that is factor comparison method. So the name itself suggests that. So the total 5 factors are given to you, and based on that particular 5 factors, the comparison of the job evaluation will be taking place. So for suppose if we have to go for the job evaluation process, or if we have to implement the job evaluation process in your industry, at that time, if I'm using this factor comparison method, at that time these 5 factors are considered for the comparison purpose. So one job is given to you, or one object is given to you, and the person is coming and he's doing the job evaluation process, and during that evaluation these 5 factors are to be considered. So the factor likes, for example, if I will give the example, if we have to choose a one outgoing student, or if we have to choose one best teacher, so at that time some factors are to be considered. So what is its results, what about its co-curricular activities, what about its extracurricular activities. So like that, all the factors are compared with all the participants. Similarly, in this particular method, these are the 5 factors which we have to consider. So this particular method is the qualitative method. Qualitative means, so whatever the output you will get, that output will be available in the form of quality. That means comparison will be taking place. So which factors we are considering? The first factor is called as a mental efforts. So during the job evaluation, or in order to convert your raw material into the finished goods, so whatever the mental efforts are required, that mental efforts will be considered during the job evaluation process. Then second is called as a skill requirement. So which type of the skills are required, whether we are using the unskilled operator or the skilled operator, or whether we are using some standard machineries or some additional skilled operators we are hiring from the another industry. So like that, skill requirements, this is also one of the important factor. Then physical requirement, this is very important, whatever the parameters are physically required. So maybe in terms of equipments, simultaneously some additional persons are required, additional operators are to be required, that will be considered under the physical requirement. Then roles and responsibilities. So which responsibility is given to which person, and whether he is performing or not, that factor also we are going to consider in this particular third method. And last important thing is called as a working conditions. So in which working condition the operator is working? One operator is working in the high temperature region, another operator is working in the cold temperature region, one more operator is working in the heating region. So whatever the number of working conditions are available in the industry, based on that also the comparison of the this factor will be also compared whenever we are going for the job evaluation. So this particular method is called as a qualitative method, and whenever we are going for the job evaluation, these 5 factors are to be considered, and based on that the evaluation of the job is to be taking place. Also, in case of a factor comparison method, some key jobs are identified. So what is mean by the key jobs? So whenever we are manufacturing one component, and that components we are comparing with the standard one, so that standard components are called as a key jobs or the key components. So similarly, in case of a factor comparison method, so whatever the number of jobs are available, for example 100 jobs are available, or it is manufactured, from that particular 100 jobs we have to identify the best jobs. So maybe I can take the 5 jobs, I can take the 10 jobs. So out of hundreds, I have to select the best 100 jobs, and remaining jobs are compared with this particular key jobs. So that's why the comparison of the key jobs and the comparison of other jobs will be taking place, and based on that comparison also the evaluation of the job will be taking place. If I am comparing remaining 90 jobs with the key 10 jobs, so whatever the 10 jobs I have segregated, so they are very accurate, their dimensions are accurate, they are working in the effective manner, so that 10 jobs are available as a standard. and remaining 90 jobs I'm comparing with that particular key jobs, and during that particular comparison these are the 5 factors I'm using, and your job evaluation will be taking place. So job evaluation is to be taking place, that means we are checking the performance of that particular job. But while checking that particular performance, on which basis, on which factors I have to go for the comparison? So these are the 5 factors. Therefore this method is called as a factor comparison method. So this method it is mostly a major advantage of this particular method is mostly used in the large organization. So if your company is very big, in such companies this method is mostly applicable because number of products we are manufacturing. But some limitations are there, that is it is very time consuming, so we have to compare each and every job with the standard one. So maximum amount of time is required, therefore this method is very time consuming. So this is the third method, which is called as a factor comparison method, in which the comparison will be taking place during the job evaluation based on this particular 5 factors. And then the last method of the job evaluation is called as a point rating method. So this is called as a quantitative method. So previous method, whatever we have discussed, that is qualitative method. So this method is called as a quantitative method because whatever the output you will get in the form of job evaluation, that output will be available in the form of quantity. So the point rating method, in case of a point rating method, again here whatever the evaluation of the job is taking place, again here some common factors are considered. For example, education of the operator, experience of the operator, then what is the physical efforts are to be taking place, which type of responsibilities are given to that particular operator. So these are the common factors which are considered during the job evaluation. But rather than that, here in case of a point rating method, one standard step is involved. So all that particular steps here I have represented. So from 1 to 10, so it indicates the implementation steps of the point rating method, and this is the very important method which is mostly used in the various types of the industry because it is having the good acceptability, it is having the good accuracy as compared to the other methods. So mostly this method we are using in the industry. So why it is called as a quantitative method? Because final output you will get in the form of quantity. So here, so whatever the procedure I have represented, so what is the first? Decide the type of jobs to be evaluated. First of all, we have to decide the job, which jobs I have to go for the evaluation. First of all, that job will be evaluated. Then select the factor, on which factors the comparison will be taking place. Either I can take the education, I can take the experience of the operator, I can take the physical efforts, I can take the responsibility of that particular worker, I can take the which type of material is used for the job, which types of the equipments are used for manufacturing the job. So all that particular factors will be considered, or it will be selected into the second step. Then define the factors. So whatever the factors we have selected, so we have to define that particular factor, for which purpose I have taken this particular factor. Sometimes we are taking the factor, but that factor is not useful during the job evaluation. So if there is no use, so need not required to take that particular factor under the consideration. So those factors are required during the job evaluation, only that factors will be taken into consideration. Therefore, define the factors. Then define the degree factors. So here why it is called as a quantitative method, because here we are giving the degrees to the jobs. So in the first method, we have given the ranking. Ranking will be given in the form of low, medium, high. Then second method, whatever we have discussed, in that we have given the grades, that is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So like that gradings are to be given. Similarly, in case of point rating methods, we are giving the degrees. So first degree, second degree, third degree, fourth degree, fifth degree. So like that, this particular degree is defined. But before that, first of all, we have to decide the weightage of each and every factor. So for example, I have selected factor as the education, experience, responsibility, machines, material. So 20% weightage is given to the education. Okay, then 30% is given to the experience. Again, 20% is given to the material. 20% is given to the equipments. The remaining percentage will be given to all the types of responsibilities. So like that, first of all, we have to decide the weightage of each and every factor, and according to that particular weightage, the degrees are to be defined. So for that purpose, here I have written in the sixth step, assigning points to the degree. So for first degree, how much percentage is there? 20%. For second degree, what is percentage? 40 degree. For third degree, what is percentage? 60 degree. For fourth degree, what is percentage? 80. For fifth degree, what is percentage? 100. If my total job evaluation will be taking place based on the only one factor, for example, education. So 100% means how much degree I have to give to that particular job? 5 degree. If my job evaluation will be taking place and at that time only I have considered only two factors. The first one is the education and second one is the experience. So 50% weightage is given to the education and 50% weightage is given to the experience. Based on that particular percentage, we have to decide the degree. So in the second method, we have given the grades A, B, C, D, E, F. If 100% performance is there, A++, 95, A+, 90%, A. So like that gradings are to be given. Similarly, in case of a point rated method, first of all, we have to decide the factor. In second method, factors are not considered. Directly, I have given the grades based on the performance. But here, in case of a point rating method, the factors are defined. For each and every factor, the percentage is to be defined, and based on that particular percentage, the degrees are given to that particular job. So this is the basic difference between all the previous three methods and this particular method. Therefore, whatever the output you will get, that output will be available in the form of quantity, that is first degree, second degree, third degree, fourth degree, fifth degree. Based on that, we will evaluate that particular job. So this is the basic procedure of the point rating method. So remaining points are preparing the job evaluation manual, preparing the job description and job specification, rating of the jobs, placing the jobs into the grade. So these are the common procedure. But from the step number 1 to the step number 6, this is very important for the implementation of this particular point rating method. So understand the difference between the second method and the third method or fourth method. In second method, grades are given based on the performance, but in that not a single factor is considered, that is education or experience like that. But here in case of a point rating method, first of all we have defined the factors. Which factors are required? Only that factors I have taken. For each and every factor, the percentage weightage is given, and according to that particular weightage, the degrees are defined, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and based on that particular degrees, the job evaluation will be taking place. So this is the point rating method, which is mostly used in the various types of the industry because it is having the high accuracy, more reliable, more acceptable. So therefore this method is mostly used in the various types of the industry. So these are the 4 methods of the job evaluation, that is ranking method. Then second method is called as a job classification method. Then third method we have discussed factor comparison method, that is 5 factors we have considered for the comparison purpose. And this is the point rating methods where the factors are considered, degrees are given, weightage is given, and the evaluation will be taken place. So these are the 4 methods which are mostly used for the job evaluation. So you have to keep this particular or the 4 methods in your mind, because based on this, the MCQ questions will be asked in the examination. So you have to keep this particular 4 methods at your tip of tongue. Okay, so this is about job evaluation. So these are the advantages I have given for the point rating. So the more accurate and reliable, more objectivity during the quantification of the factor. It's logical and practicable, good acceptability is there. So these are the advantages we have discussed, but it is having some disadvantages also, that is requires large experience and expertise to define the degree and the points. So whenever I have to decide the weightage of each and every factor, or whenever I have to decide the degree, it should not be taking place by the operator, worker, supervisor. So high skilled experienced persons are required to decide the weightage and the degree, and points allocated to degree are the arbitrary. So sometimes maybe some errors are to be taking place, some maybe some acceptance, the rejections, it is also taking place. So there are some disadvantages are also there for the point rating. But if you think about their acceptability, their results, their accuracy, this method is mostly used in the industry. And now we'll discuss about the next point, that is part number 2 of this particular chapter, which is called as a merit rating. So whatever the job evaluation is taking place, it is totally related to the evaluation of job. That means whatever the jobs we have manufactured, only their evaluation will be taking place, where we are checking the performance of the job. But merit rating, it is totally related with the operator, supervisors, workers, those who are working on that particular job, or those who have already worked. So one task is given to the operator, that operator is complete his task, okay, and your final product is ready. At the end, we are doing the evaluation of job, as well as we are doing the evaluation of that operator also who has completed that particular task, because based on their performance also we are giving some additional amount, additional money to them. So for that purpose, this concept is very important, that is merit rating. So this merit rating, it is also called as a performance appraisal. So here we have to check the performance of the operator, those who are working on that particular job, their performance we have to do. That concept is called as a merit rating. So job evaluation is related to the evaluation of the job. Therefore, in the second term, I have written job evaluation evaluates the job, and the merit rating assess the worth of person who performing the job. Job evaluation, it is related to only job evaluation, where I am checking the performance of the job only. But in case of a merit rating, I am checking the performance of operator, worker, supervisor, manager, those who are working on that particular job. Therefore, along with job evaluation, the merit rating concept is also provided in the industry. And that merit rating, it is also called as a performance appraisal. So whenever we have to check the performance, for example, if we take the example of ours from your division, for example, if we have to check the best student, so at that time what we are doing, we are calling the applications. Then those who are giving the application, they are preparing for the same, they are preparing their resume, they are preparing their all the types of activities wherever they have participated. And at the end, what we are doing the evaluation. So how many publications are there, what is your experience, what is your extracurricular activities, what is your co-curricular activities. So whatever the things we have done, that things we have compared with each other, and at the end, the student, those who are having the good results, their evaluation will be taking place, and that award is given to that particular person. So similarly, in case of an industry, so whenever we have to check the performance of the operator, so we have to implement the concept of merit rating, and that particular process is called as a performance appraisal. In our case also, at the end, in there are our system is year wise. So academic year 18, 19, 19, 20. So whenever, in our case also, whenever we have to, the college has to check the performance. So one performance appraisal form is given to us, and in that we are filling all the information, how many lectures we have taken, how many practicals we have taken, whatever our extracurricular activities, how many publications we have done, how many patents we have filed. So like that, all the information we will fill in that particular performance appraisal, and based on that, our additional or maybe incremental or incentive will be given to us. So like that system is also available in the industry. Therefore, the merit rating, it is also called as a performance appraisal, where the evaluation of the job will be taking place. Sorry, evaluation of the person is taking place, where he is performing that particular job. And based on that, if the person is having the good results, so additional amount, which system, extra payment will be given to them. So that for that purpose, this concept is implemented in the industry. So again, it is having some benefits, objectives. So total 6 objectives I have, important 6 objectives I have mentioned here. So what is the first one? Useful in the rewarding the person, and reward can be linked to the performance. So whenever we have to give the rewards, rewarding the person means we have to give, or we have to represent their performance. So we have to give the rewards. Your performance is very high, it is excellent, it is acceptable, it is good, better, best, worst. So like that, rewarding will be given to you, and that rewards are directly linked with the performance. So whenever we have to check the performance, first of all, we have to reward that particular performance, and then we have to check their performance. Therefore, whenever we have to reward the person, and whenever we have to check their performance, at that time, this merit rating concept is mostly applicable. Then it helps to identify the person's potential to perform the assigned jobs and decide the further position he can take. So whenever we have to check the potential of that particular person, so one job is assigned to the worker, and once it is assigned to them, we have to check his potential, whether he is completing or not. Because based on that particular performance also, the further position can be decided. Sometimes we have to give the promotions. So at that time, the promotions will not be directly given. So first of all, we have to check the performance, we have to check the potential of that particular operator, and based on that, the further positions can be decided. Then third, to identify the training needs to the employee. So sometimes the operators are not doing the jobs properly because they are unaware about the trainings. So for that purpose, initially we have to give the trainings to them, and once the training is given, then that employee can be works in the effective manner. But in order to identify the need of the training, this merit rating concept is also mostly useful. Then fourth, helps in counseling the employee regarding their strength and weaknesses. So whenever we have to represent the strength and weakness, so many times in the interviews also, we are asking for the strength and weakness. Similar in case of industries, so whatever your supervisor is there, that supervisor is counseling to their operator. This is your strength. This is your weakness. So this is your weakness. You have to improve on that particular day. This is your strength. You have to continue your work in this particular manner. So like that, the counseling related to the strength and weakness, for that purpose also, this merit rating concept is mostly useful. It motivates the employee to perform the better. So whenever the strength and weakness will be asked at that time, that supervisor manager, he or she is also motivating to their operator. Now, no problem. You have to do it. So we can do it. So like that, motivations will be given. Due to that particular motivations also, sometimes the performance of the operator, it will get increases, and automatically the output will be there. Therefore, for the motivation purpose also, this merit rating concept is applicable. Then acts as a constructive performance appraisal system. All these particular 5 points are related to the performance appraisal. So whenever at the end of the year, so whenever we have to give for the increments, whenever we have to give some additional amount, so these are the 5 factors will be considered, and based on that, the performance of the operator will be checked. If your performance is accepted, it is good, better, best, based on that, the incrementation in their salary will be taking place. Therefore, in order to check the performance of the operator in all the conditions, the concept of the merit rating is very, very useful. Therefore, you just identify the difference between the job evaluation and the merit rating. So the job evaluation, it is totally related to the evaluation of the job. So whatever we have manufactured, whatever we have prepared. But the merit rating, it is having the second name, which is called as a performance appraisal. And it is related to the evaluation of the person, operator, worker, supervisor, those who are working on that particular job. So the job evaluation is totally related to the job only, and the merit rating concept is totally related to the person, operator, worker, supervisor, manager, which is also called as a performance appraisal. And these are the major 6 objectives. And now we'll discuss about the last point of this particular chapter, that is merit rating methods. So in the job evaluation also, we have discussed the 4 methods where the only evaluation of the job is taking place. So through this particular 4 methods, the evaluation of the performance will not be taking place. But when we have to go for the evaluation of the persons, which methods we are using in the industry, that methods also we are going to discuss now. So in that first method is called as ranking method. So related to this ranking method, already we have discussed in the previous job evaluation method, where the rankings are given from lowest to highest. Rankings are given from the lowest to highest, or maybe first rank, second rank, third rank. So the operator, those who are working on the job, based on their performance, the rankings are given. Your performance is very low because whatever the jobs you have manufactured, it is not working in the proper condition. Your performance is medium, your performance is very high, or the first rank is given to you, second rank is given to you, third rank is given to you. So like that, rankings will be given to the operator. Here now the ranking is given to the operator, person, supervisor. The rankings are not given to the job. Already that method we have discussed in the previous job evaluation concept. Now here, whatever the ranking I am giving, that ranking will be given to the workers, operators, based on their performance. So this is the ranking method. Then second is called as a paired comparison method. So here the comparison of the employees will be taking place. So for example, one group is available, which includes the total 10 employees. So the first employee, the performance of the first employee is compared with the remaining 9 Performance of the second employee is compared with the first employee and remaining 8 employees. So the name itself suggests that the pair comparison method, it represents the comparison of employee in group. So the one employee is compared with the remaining all one. So the performance of the first employee is compared with the performance of remaining all the employees which are present in the group. So in the group, maybe 5 employees may be there, 10 employees are there, 50 employees are there, 100 employees are there. So the comparison of all the employees will be taking place with one another, and based on that particular comparison, the evaluation will be taking place, or the appraisal will be given to that particular operator. So in that particular comparison, so many factors we are considering. Maybe we are considering their education, we are considering their experience, we are considering their additional skills, additional trainings, where we are checking their honesty. So like that, so many factors are there in which the comparison of all the workers is to be taking place, and based on that, the appraisal will be given, or the performance will be checked by that particular paid comparison method. So this is the second method where the comparison of all the employees are taking place in group. So first employee is over, then second employee, their performance will check with another employee, then third, fourth, fifth, like that, comparisons of the employees will be taking place. Then forced choice method. So what is meant by the forced choice method? So here in this particular method, we are checking the behavior of the operator. We are checking the behavior of the operator. But here, for example, the worker is there, and their supervisor is there, and that supervisor is checking the performance, or he is checking the performance of his worker. So at that time, he can directly tell, this is your behavior, this is your condition, this is your like. But whatever the behavior he is telling to that particular operator, that behavior should not be given in his own statement. Supervisor is giving some suggestions to the workers, but that suggestions will not be given in his own statement. So for that purpose, some standard statements are defined by the industry. Some standard statements are already defined by the industry, or maybe one page write-up is given to you, and then the supervisor is writing the name of the operator and their department, their all the information, and some at the bottom side, some standard questionnaires are given. And based on that particular questions and based on the performance, he can directly tick mark. So this is the good person, good, better, best. Whether he is working in the effective manner, yes, no, no. Whether it's honestly, yes, no. So like that, so many questions are to be given. Some standard statements are defined, and based on that particular statement, the performance of the operator will be taking place. So therefore, that particular method is called as a forced choice method, where the standard statements are defined by the industry. Based on that particular statement, the behavior of the operator will be taking place. And this task is totally performed by the rater. So what is meant by the rater? The person who is checking the performance. Maybe your supervisor is there, your manager is there, your assistant manager is there. He's checking that particular performance. That person is called as a rater. Those who are giving the ratings, that person is called as a rater. So such types of the statements are defined, and behavior will be checked based on that particular statement. So that method is called as a forced choice method. Then checklist method. So here in case of a checklist method, some standard questionnaires are there. Some standard questionnaires are there, and that questions are asked by your supervisor, your manager to the operator, and then that particular supervisor or the operator will give the answer, and based on their answers, the rating will be given. So some common questions, maybe some technical questions are there, some non-technical questions are there, the questions related to their task is there, the questions related to their job is there, the question related to the machine on which he's doing the job. So like that, all the types of questionnaires are defined, and that questions will be asked by the supervisor, manager to that particular operator or the workers, and he will give the answers, and based on that particular answers, the ratings are given. And again, those who are asking the questions, so that person is called as a rater. Those who are giving the ratings to the supervisor, operator. So there is some skill is there. Unskilled operator workers are there. Their performance can be checked by their supervisor. The performance of the supervisor will be checked by the assistant manager. The performance of the assistant manager will be checked by the manager. Then performance of the manager will be checked by the that particular management is there. So like that, one chain is there. In case of a checklist method, some standard questions are defined, and based on that particular questions, the ratings will be given to that particular operator, where the operators workers are giving the answers, and based on their answer satisfaction, or whatever the answers they have given, so the ratings will be given. And last method is called as a scale plan. So the scale plan method, it is also mostly used in the various types of the industries, where here in this particular method, the scaling will be given in the form of two types. It may be numerical or it may be descriptive. So whenever we have to give the scaling means we know that we have to measure it. Scaling means, the another meaning of the scale plan means we have to measure something. So here what we are measuring the rating, or we are measuring the performance of the operator. So at that time, this scale plan method, it is also used in the industry. So it may be, the scale plan can be taking place in the form of numerical scale, where in the form of numbers also we can measure it, or in the form of description also. So whenever we have to represent all the performance of the operator, so it can be represented in the form of number. For example, out of 100 he got the 90, out of 10 he got the 8 marks. So like that, numerical also we can represent, or sometimes we can represent in the descriptive manner. So this is good, he is working in the effective manner, his knowledge is very high. So like that, in the description also we can check the performance. So like that, by using this particular 5 methods, we can check the performance of the operator, and the person who is checking the performance of the operator, that person is called as a rating, because here all the things we are discussing about the merit rating. So this is related to the merit rating. So we have discussed about the basic definition of the merit rating, which is also called as a performance appraisal, where we are checking the performance of the person who is working on the job. Then we have discussed about all the benefits of the merit rating. If it is not implemented in the industry, then what disadvantages will be happening. So that we can understood through this particular objectives. So these are the 6 objectives, so which are very useful in the industry. And then we have discussed all the 5 methods, in which method what will be taking place, and how the performance will be checked by those particular methods, that also we have discussed. So this particular 5 methods also we have to keep in mind, because based on this particular methods, again the MCQ questions will be there. Following methods are the merit rating methods. The 4 options will be given. In that 4 options, some job evaluation methods are also there, some merit rating methods are also there. So don't make the confusion in that. Identify the correct method, whether it is related to the merit rating or whether it is related to the job evaluation, and we have to give the correct answer. Therefore, the 4 methods from the job evaluation and the 5 methods from the merit rating, we have to keep their names in your mind. This is very useful for your MCQ questions. And with these particular points, we have finished this particular chapter number 6 related to the job evaluation and the merit rating. And with this particular chapter, we have finished our syllabus of industrial engineering also. Okay, so this is related to the chapter number 6, which is called as a job evaluation and the merit rating. Okay, so this is okay. So with this particular last point, we have finished our syllabus of the industrial engineering also. So total 6 chapters are there for our syllabus. So quickly we will revise the things. So the first chapter we have discussed related to the introduction to industrial engineering, and second chapter is related to the method study. Third chapter is related to the industrial safety and the ergonomics. Then fourth chapter is related to the time study. Fifth chapter is related to the facility location and the plant layouts, and the last chapter whatever we have covered today, which is called as a job evaluation at the merit rating. So these are the 6 chapters for our syllabus, and with this particular last point of the merit rating, we have finished our chapter number 6 also. So we have conducted all the 5 MCQ tests on all the previous 5 chapters. So maybe tomorrow we are having the MCQ test number 6 based on this particular 6th chapter. So tomorrow I will send the link of that particular MCQ test on your WhatsApp group. So you have to appear it. Rather than this, related to your submission, so I have given the experiments. So total 7 experiments are there. and the questions of that particular experiments already I have shared with you in the last week. Afterwards also I have given the reminder also. So you have to write down all that particular questions. But we have covered the 5 experiments in the previous practical. So maybe again still time is there. So we'll discuss that particular remaining experiments in the today's lecture also. So we can continue with your write-up part. So if you see here, your assignment number 6 or experiment number 6 is there, which is related to the case study on the plant layout. So whatever the chapter number 5th we have discussed, that is facility location and the plant layout. So in that, all the types of layout we have discussed, that is process layout, product layout, fixed position layout, then group technology. So total 4 types of layouts we have discussed in that particular chapter number 5. Again, same part is there in this particular assignment number 6. So here in this particular experiment, so all the important things are given: objectives of the types of layout, objectives of the layout, then their manufacturing units along with that. So different types of the figures are also given. What is meant by the process layout, what is meant by the product layout. So all these particular points already we have discussed in our chapter also, and same things they have represented here. And based on this also you are having one experiment, and already in that particular list of the experiments or in that particular list of the questions already I have given one question, that is give the difference between process layout and the product layout. So based on this particular experiment number 6, you have to write the experiment as one question, that is difference between the process layout and the product layout. So already I have shared the notes as well as PPTs of that particular chapter number 5. So by taking the reference of this and by taking the reference of this particular manual also, we have to write down the difference between the process layout and the product layout. So therefore the name of the experiment is also given the case study on the plant layout. So rather than this, there is no any other part is there in this particular experiment number 6. Same things are there, that is types of layout, then different types of layouts along with their figures, the explanations are given, then advantages, disadvantages of each and every type of layout that is mentioned in this particular menu. So you have to write down this particular experiment as a experiment number 6. And your experiment number 7 is related to the assignment on the job evaluation and the merit rating. So maybe in the today's lecture only we have finished this particular chapter number 6, that is job evaluation and the merit rating. And based on this one question is also I have given in that particular experiment write-up. So define the job evaluation and the merit rating and explain any one method of the job evaluation. So whatever the 4 methods of the job evaluation we have discussed, maybe rating method is there, job classification method is there, factor comparison method is there, or point rating method is there. Out of that, any method, first of all we have to define the job evaluation, we have to define the merit rating, and then we have to list down all the job evaluation methods, and out of that any one method we have to explain. So whatever the things we have discussed in the chapter number 6, same things they have given in this particular assignment number 7. What is meant by the job evaluation, what is meant by the merit rating, which methods are used for the job evaluation, what are the objectives of it, which methods are used for the merit rating. So again, all this particular explanation part is given in this particular job evaluation. Again, whatever the procedure we have discussed, that is job evaluation procedure, so that is also represented in this particular chapter. So that things I will not explain again. Already during that particular chapter, all the respective things, all the procedures, all the methods, all the objectives I have given the explanation. So I will not repeat that particular things once again, but just for your understanding, because in the last experiment we have finished experiment number 5, but remaining 2 experiment, that is experiment number 6 and experiment number 7, it is related to the plant layout and the job evaluation. But in order to give the brief description related to these particular two experiments, so purposefully I have taken this particular part in this particular lecture. So I hope now everyone has understood all the types of all the chapters. I hope everyone has understood all the important things related to all the chapters. I have sent all the notes, all the PPTs, scanner notes also I have sent. Then based on this particular chapter number 6 also, I will send the notes and their PPT. Definitely it will be useful. Also, in addition to that, I will send the MCQ booklet of the industrial engineering of all the 6 chapters. So you can refer that particular booklet for your study purpose. And rather than this, if anybody is having any problem related to any chapter, any concept, anytime you can message me, you can call me, we will, or I will repeat that particular things for your understanding purpose. Okay, so with this, we have finished our all the syllabus related to the industrial engineering. Now related to the write-up. So just I have already shared one PDF file which includes experiment number, then questions. So total 7 experiments are there. So I hope everyone has started that particular write-up parts. So you have to write down all the experiments, all the 7 questions. So each experiment you have to start on the new page. So whatever the respective questions are given, you have to write down, you have to explain all that particular questions. Minimum 1 page is required for each and every experiment. So you have to write down it properly. You have to write down your name, roll number on each page. And at the end, once your write-up part is over, you have to scan it in one PDF file only. And whatever the link I am sharing with you on the WhatsApp group, by using that particular link, like ISC1 and ISC2, whatever the answer sheets you are submitting. Similarly, you have to send that particular one PDF file which includes all the 7 experiments. That PDF file you have to send through that particular link. So now already I have sent that particular PDF file. Once again, I will send that particular PDF file on your group. You have to refer it and you have to write down all the questions in good and effective manner, and you have to submit through that particular given. Okay. So with this, today we will stop here, and we have finished our syllabus of the industrial engineering, that is from chapter 1 to chapter 6. Okay, so with this, today we will stop here. So thank you very much for attending the lectures.